Shalom, this is Jonathan Cahn, and I have some news. First of all, the first news is the spring 2018 Super Tour to Israel that I'm leading, we had to close it. And the reason is there were so many people coming and wanting to come, and I don't want it to be so big that I can't be sharing with you throughout the day. So because of that, the good news is we've come up with two more. This is the official announcement of the two new Super Tours to Israel. You can come with me if you wanted to do this for some time, or it's been a dream to come to Israel. All I can say is we seek to make it, I always seek to make it the absolute greatest experience, the fullest, richest, most meaningful journey, pilgrimage you could ever know, and that will change your life and change the lives of your loved ones or those you want to bring. So here they are. Here are the chances. But I would just say is get in on it soon because there are many people who want to get onto the first one. So here's the first one now. It will be the autumn 2018 autumn Super Tour to Israel. It's going to be in the autumn. It's going to be, I believe it's going to be October 29th to November 8th. And we're going to show you a clip of what you can expect. And that's the first thing. The second Super Tour. So that's only 6 months after the one that we had to close. The other one will be 6 months later or about then. And that's going to be the spring of 2019, the spring Super Tour 2019 to Israel. And that is going to be, I believe, March 25th to April 4th. And so you're going to be blown away. And I'm going to now show you, or we're going to show you a little taste of it. You're going to see a slideshow, which actually we made for the first one that we had to close, but we're going to be we're going to be doing most of the itinerary that was done. So even the special things, the new things, plus we're open to as the Lord leads. So enjoy it. It will give you the way how you can get in touch to find out more or sign up or reserve a seat. But I would just say, listen, don't wait, because there's a lot of people who waited and they thought they'd get in later on and they couldn't. So that's it. So watch it. You'll be blessed, and God bless you, and see you in Israel. See you in the Holy Land. Shalom. Shalom. This is Jonathan Cahn, and I have a big and great announcement. I am inviting you to journey with me to the Promised Land on a pilgrimage, a once-in-a-lifetime pilgrimage, Super Tour to the Holy Land. And if you can imagine it, if you've ever dreamed about going to Israel, you are going to be blown away. And if maybe you've been there before, well, it's going to be amazing. We have people coming back all the time because we seek to put as much as we can, make it extraordinary every time you're there in Israel. And if you have friends or family that you want to bless, or those who don't know the Lord, they're going to hear the word, they're going to hear the Lord as you walk in the Promised Land. And there's a lot that we're doing that is new. I want it to be very new, as well as all the things that, of course, we all want to do every time. But I truly, anybody who's been on a tour with me, I seek to make it the most incredible experience you could ever have, because it'll change your life, because there's nothing like it. You'll know Jesus in such an incredible way, to walk where he walked, see where he was. You'll actually stand on places where he actually stood, and see the land where your faith comes from, the Bible, your salvation, Jerusalem, you know, the center of your faith. And imagine standing at the Garden Tomb. Imagine sailing the Sea of Galilee. Imagine looking over Armageddon, singing Christmas carols over Bethlehem at night. It's you know, all these things, it seems like it's just not too much to be true, and it's real. And so, and plus I'll be teaching you. If you've been blessed by the teachings, many of you we've never met, but you've been following me on the web, and you've been blessed by the teachings or the Book of Mysteries. You're going to get, the whole thing's going to be, it's going to be teaching with the Promised Land being the backdrop, being the illustration everywhere you go. And you're going to not only be in the Promised Land and walking where Jesus walked, and seeing the land of God, the people of God, prophecy, history, your salvation, but also there's going to be teachings. I teach several times a day at the actual spots. Imagine looking over Armageddon and having a teaching on that, standing on the hills of Nazareth with a teaching on that, standing on the Temple Mount, the Mount of Olives. You're going to actually be doing all these things you heard of. Having a communion service in the Garden of Gethsemane at night. We try to do things that sometimes we have to get special permission because it's not usually done on tours. But let me give you an example. More than an example. I'm going to give you kind of an overview. We'll gather together on the shores of the Mediterranean, and we'll worship right at the place where there's Joppa, where Peter saw the vision, where the gospel went out. We're going to go up the coast of Israel to Caesarea, where the first Gentile was baptized, and Cornelius. And then up to Mount Carmel. You're going to stand where Elijah and the prophets of Baal stood, where he said, choose this day. We're going to journey through the valley of Jezreel and the Armageddon, and go up to Mount Gilboa. We have not been there on a tour. Mount Gilboa is the place where Saul was struck down, and overlooking the Jezreel Valley, where so much of what you read in the Bible took place. Elijah, you're going to see the place where he was. Deborah, Barak, Gideon, all that. Then we're going to end up that day on the sea, overlooking the Sea of Galilee, worshiping, and you'll see the Sea of Galilee where Jesus was in so many things. Then next day, we're going to do, that was just one day, we're going to do something we've never done. We're going to go take a boat raft ride down the Jordan River, if you can imagine it. Something rarely done. It's going to be awesome. Then we're going to take a Jeep ride on the mountains of the Golan Heights, which also we've never done on the Golan Heights. We're going to go to Bethsaida, which has just been newly discovered, the home of the apostles, of disciples, right there. We're going to go to Capernaum, where Jesus centered his ministry, and we're going to worship in the synagogue that stands on the place, the synagogue where he actually ministered. We're going to go to Magdala, which is also newly discovered, the actual one of the oldest synagogues in the world, where Jesus definitely was. He was definitely there, the home of Mary Magdalene. And we're going to have a night service. We don't know anyone else who does it, but we've done it. It's been awesome. We're actually going to go to the synagogue at Chorazim, the ground where Jesus would have stood, and we're going to worship the Lord by candlelight. And it's awesome. Then, next day, we're going to go to Cana, the place where Jesus performed the first miracle at the wedding, and there under the olive trees of Cana, we're going to renew our vows to our beloved, the Lord. And if you're a couple, it's a chance to renew your love and your vows to each other. And then we go from there. It's always real beautiful. We go from there to Nazareth, to the kind of hilltop, mountaintop town, city of Nazareth. And there we're going to overlook the cliff, the precipice, where they said they try to push him over. And you're going to see Armageddon and everything. And we're going to have a special time there. Then we're going to return to the shores of Galilee, and we take a time of just having time alone with the Lord at the shores, the place where he chose the disciples, because he chose you. And it's an amazing place. God speaks to people there. Then we're going to have a night ride. We're going to sail, well, no, before the night, we're going to sail on the Sea of Galilee. It may become night while we do it. We're actually going to sail on the Sea of Galilee, and it's awesome. We'll share that. And it's going to be the Sabbath. It's going to start then in Israel, where we're going to be on the Sea of Galilee. So we're going to have a special service on the boat. Then that night, we're going to do something not done. We have not done this, or at least for in this millennium. And that is, you're going to actually be able to bathe in the hot springs of Galilee. And this is where they went 2,000 years ago, the Roman hot springs. Amazing. Then we're going to go down the next day. We're actually going to have a baptism in the Jordan River. And for many people who've been baptized, you still can experience it. It won't be your baptism, but it'll be the experience of it as well in the Jordan River. And if you haven't been baptized, what a perfect place as well. But also, then we're going to go down the Jordan Valley, and we're going to go to Gideon Spring. But not only are we going to Gideon Spring, we're doing something very special that's not done. We have not done it. We're going to be swimming in one of the springs from the land of Gideon. We're actually going to swim in there. Then we're going to go down to Jericho, where we have not been. The walls of Jericho come down. We're going to see it. Then we're going to go into the wilderness of Israel. We're going to pass through the Dead Sea. You're going to pass through many of the places, and we're going to end up in an amazing Bedouin tent experience. We're going to have a Bedouin dinner, a Middle Eastern dinner in the tents. We're going to have a special time that night under the stars, worshiping God in the wilderness. You're going to ride a camel there in the wilderness as well. And then that next day, we're going to begin. It's going to be Sunday. So we're actually going to have a Sunday morning service in the wilderness of Judea, of the Bible. And there's so much to be said. There's nothing quite like that either. And then we are going to go to ascend to Masada, the fortress on the mountain where with the last stand of Israel, and an amazing mystery that's hidden there. Then we're going to go, you're going to bathe in the Dead Sea, where you cannot sink. And we're going to hopefully get to En-Gedi, where David hid from Saul, the springs of En-Gedi. Then you're going to ascend at night to see the holy city, the center of the world, the center of your salvation, Jerusalem. And we're going to overlook on the mountains as we worship the Lord over Jerusalem. The next day, you're going to be standing on the center of the earth on the Temple Mount. And then we're going to go from there, and that's where God's going to reign from, and where the temple was, where Messiah was. Then we're going to go to the pools of Bethesda, where the Lord healed, and we're going to pray for healing there. We're going to go through the Lion's Gate, where Jerusalem was restored to the Jewish people. We're going to go to Yad Vashem. We're going to go to Herodian, place we've never been, which is the amazing place that Herod built, where he's buried there. But it's right by Bethlehem, and amazing place. It's archaeologically amazing. Then we're going to go to the Nativity, Church of the Nativity. Haven't been there for years. And we're going to go to Shepherd's Field. And by the time that's all there, it's going to be the time of getting dark, and we're going to have, by candlelight or by lights, we're going to sing Christmas songs over Bethlehem. And then that night, you're going to be able to go under the temple in the rabbi's tunnels. It's like an Indiana Jones adventure as you do that. The next day, we're going to go start on the Mount of Olives, where Messiah came the first time, where he's coming again, where his feet will stand. You're actually be on the Mount of Olives. Then we're going to go down to the city of David, the original Jerusalem, where you're going to see amazing things there. And we're going to do something have not done in this millennium. We're going to go through Hezekiah's tunnel. Talk about Indiana Jones. There's a river flowing underneath, and you're going through the tunnel that Hezekiah actually dug, and to the pool of Siloam, where the blind man was healed. Then we're going to enter the old city, Jaffa Gate. You're going to see the Holy Sepulchre, the Cardo. You're going to walk through the old city and the walls. You're going to approach the Western Wall. It's an amazing experience to worship the Lord there. Then we're going to go to the steps of the temple, where we will we'll be there where Jesus definitely walked, definitely was. Then do something that is almost never done. I've never known of any other people doing it, but it's amazing. We're going to go on the other side of the Temple Mount, and you're going to walk to the eastern gate, where Messiah is going to walk through. It's the gate of prophecy, and on the right is going to be Mount of Olives. On your left is going to be the eastern gate. It's an amazing prophetic experience. And then from there, we're going to go down to the Garden of Gethsemane at night, or as the sun's going down, which is never done. And we're going to have an incredible time with the Lord there, and we're going to have communion in that garden. Then, the day, I think it's day 10, you're going to be planting a tree. You're going to be part of prophecy. You're going to plant a tree in the soil of Israel. You're going to bless the land. It's going to be growing there, representing. Sometimes you can plant it for a loved one or plant it in honor of somebody. Then we're going to go to the house of Caiaphas, which is where Messiah was taken the night that he was held of his trial. And then we're going to go to the upper room, and we're going to pray. We're going to pray God's anointing. We're even anoint you with oil for God's anointing on your life. We're going to even go on top of the upper room, on the rooftop, and pray for that anointing. And then finally, we're going to come to the garden tomb, the place of the resurrection, and we have an amazing time there as well. And then, of course, and there's so much. There are things I haven't even mentioned, but that gives you a taste of how incredible, awesome, blowing you away it's going to be. It'll change your life. And so here's the thing. And we will do, and also Choral Tours that does this, works with me. They seek to do everything I ask, and I ask for everything, because I know for some people it's a once in a lifetime thing. It's going to bless your life. So what do you need to know? To reserve a seat, and you want to reserve a seat, it's filled up, and it gets filled up fast, but this was the first announcement on the web. But to reserve a seat, or just to find out more information, or if you have questions, here's the contact. It's Choral Tours, C-O-R-A-L, Choral Travel and Tours. And the email to contact them is info, I-N-F-O, at choraltours.org, C-O-R-A-L-T-O-R-S.org. So it's info at choraltours.org. You can also call, I believe, toll free. Here's the number, 866, you can ask any questions, 267-2511, 866-267-2511. 2511. So listen, you're going to love it. And for those of you we've never met, I'll meet many of you in Israel. It'll be an awesome time. And you'll be changed. There's nothing like it. And every time you go, it's different. And so you will love it. I look forward to seeing you on the shores. That's where we'll probably meet for the first time. I'll see you on the shores. I'll see you on that shore of the Promised Land. God bless you and shalom.